Hey guys, now before we start with anything, I want to mention that I'm a little bit sick at the moment. So if I sound any different, it's because of that reason. You guys already know Pokemon X in form of that left Pokemon, a deer looking form Pokemon, and Pokemon Y in form of that right Pokemon, that powerful dragon dark looking thingy. Now this video is going to be dedicated towards predicting their typings just by looking at them. I did see the trailer, I got a couple of ideas behind it, but the trailers didn't really say much towards their typings. They did show a couple of animations, so I'm gonna try to judge it by their animations. You guys can go check out the trailer, can judge it by yourself if you want to. Leave in the comment section on the predictions you have for this particular Pokemon at their final form, what their typings are gonna be like. Now, I was really not expecting Pokemon X and Pokemon Y to be released this year on October. That's a really early release, and I guess it's understandable. Pokemon franchise has been a big sales for Nintendo, and they just know that the 3DS, if I'm not mistaken, the 3DS didn't really sell all that well as they were expecting. And the Pokemon is the way to go. An early release of Pokemon is gonna make people buy a 3DS. Finally, we have a reason to buy a 3DS. I mean, there are great games on 3DS, don't get me wrong. There are really good titles out there, but it's Pokemon, and I've been a Pokemon fanatic, and they just know it. They just know it, how to just grab me by my balls to buy this game. And it's working for them because I'm not gonna buy myself 3DS right now, but I'm definitely gonna buy myself up to October just to be ready. Gonna get myself all the needed ingredients to give you guys the quality you guys deserve. Of course, I'm gonna buy the original cartridges of these games because these games look spectacular. I really like the graphic approach when watching these trailers and the animations. This game is gonna kick ass, that's all I can say. The animations really look nice. But with that being said, let's check out the starters of the new 6th generation of Pokemon games. Yeah, we have Fennekin, and then we have what is that Pokemon called? Chespin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm kind of going on top of my head because I believe it sort of comes down from the trailer, from watching the trailer like 3 times. And the last Pokemon is Froakie, I believe. Froakie, Chespin, and Fennekin. Now, the first Pokemon, a little fox, kind of reminds me of Eevee. Doesn't really say much, but it sorta, after watching the trailer, it kind of gives you a feeling that it's a Psychic Fire type Pokemon. Espeon was a Psychic type. Fire Psychic, that would have been kind of cool to see. Plus the animations, I believe there was confusion in the trailer going on, just something Psychic related when the animation was concerned, so I kind of feel it's gonna be Psychic Fire. Now for the next Pokemon, I believe he was using Slash in the animation, I'm not too sure, or am I making a mistake and maybe that was a Froakie. But the grass Pokemon, the middle one, the Chespin, I believe this Pokemon is gonna be, it's kinda hard to say because it's definitely the hardest Pokemon to predict. Out of all the 3 Pokemon, I'm starting to believe that Chespin being a slim Pokemon, and it looks really agile, I feel like it's gonna be middle fast, the second fastest Pokemon on this team. The first one, the fastest Pokemon on this team probably being Fennekin, the fire type Pokemon, the fox form of Pokemon. And I'm starting to believe that Fennekin is going to be a very powerful special attacker. Chespin is going to be a very powerful physical attacker and being decently fast. And then Froakie being a mixer and having some bulk to it. Kind of start to give me an idea of Samurott, but I'm not too sure. It's kind of early to say. You cannot really say what their stats are going to be like just by checking out their design if the Pokemon doesn't really look extremely obvious on the design part. But looking at it, I'm starting to believe that Froakie, the last water type Pokemon, is gonna be water electric, because there was an animation when Froakie was sort of going towards the opponent and there was like sparks. It kind of felt like he was struck by some sort of electric effect, and it sounded a little bit like it. Plus around his throat you can sort of see like a little bit of a cloud, and you guys already know what clouds should represent in this case. It should be water and electric, because think about it, clouds, water, rain, electric, thunderstorms. Yeah, it's I'm kind of going towards water electric. So my final predictions for the starters is gonna be the following. The first Pokemon, Fennekin, the fire Pokemon, is gonna be Psychic Fire. The second Pokemon is gonna be Grass Fighting, and the third Pokemon is gonna be Water Electric. Okay, so what else do we have? We have two last remaining. You can see a deer Pokemon down there. Now the deer Pokemon represents Pokemon X. You guys will catch it when you know, buying a Pokemon X game. And this Pokemon right here looks really majestic. It looks powerful and wise. It sort of looks a little bit more defensive, but you know, Uber Pokemon material are defensive and offensive at the same time. They're crazy powerful. That's what makes them Uber in the first place. It kind of reminds me of this one deer in an anime movie I was watching a long time ago, Princess Monono. It's hard to remember that anime's name. You guys may know. You can leave in the comment section so people will get the idea of what I'm talking about. There was a deer, god Shinigami, and it kind of reminds me of that deer in that anime movie. Now, for the typing of that Pokemon, because it is nature, I'm starting to believe that it's gonna be part grass. But his whole design kind of feels like he can be part Psychic for all I know. He can be grass Psychic, or he can be grass water. But I'm starting, with the whole rainbow coloring, I'm starting to feel that it doesn't have to do much with Psychic in the first place, and it probably is grass water for all I know. I mean, it's still a unique typing. I mean, we have Ludicolo and maybe something else, but grass water isn't as used as it can be. And one more would have been, good addition to our Pokemon franchise, to the competitive aspect as well. So grass water, that is my prediction on the deer Pokemon. Now this next Pokemon shown, when I first checked in the trailer, I felt like a dark, sinister presence. It's definitely part dark in some way. It needs to be dark. I'm starting to feel maybe it's Fire Dark, or it probably is Dragon Dark. It is either Dragon Dark or Fire Dark. Now Fire Dark would have kind of been cool, but then again, my final predictions for it is probably going to be Dark Dragon. So for that the deer Pokemon, I'm predicting the water grass, and for that other Pokemon, I'm predicting the Dark Dragon. Guys, dragons don't need to be part flying all the time, because we already seen Sezadora, it can fly just fine. We have seen Flygon, it can fly just fine. Not every dragon is part flying, and even if it was displayed flying in the trailer, that doesn't really say much, because again, it can be totally something different. In the end, it is Pokemon, and sometimes you just threw logic out of the place. That deer Pokemon may just be Psychic Dragon for all I know why. Yeah, those are my predictions. What are your predictions on it? Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the games, on the trailers? It is still pretty early to say, we only seen so little, but the games are coming up so soon. It is incredible news. I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. I cannot believe we actually passed 2 generations of Pokemon games. Now we can actually say that we were here on YouTube when 4th generation was taking place. We got through it, then we started with 5th generation, and now we are on the 6th generation. Crazy Pokemon you can never get enough of. Take care. Peace.